So, Alan, who we got?
We've got Phil Caffrey. Phil is an outstanding songwriter, singer. He's also a teacher. Wow. And he's been a major part of the Northeast music scene for many decades and still going strong. So what I think we should do, Richie, rather than speak to Phil at this stage, is we'll jump into the TARDIS, into the time machine.
Yeah, what track we got? Yeah.
I think we should play Arbors, which was one of Phil's first bands.
Yeah.
And I think, am I right, Phil, this was your first single, Falling?
Yep, 1975.
1975.
Oh, let's do that then.
It's a brilliant song.
Oh, and I've got to say, Caffrey's is my favourite drink.
Well, goes hand in hand.
What can I say?
Well, they own the Caffrey's brewery.
Oh, really?
No.
You have a go.
As I went down, looking at the ground, I reached the 9th floor, couldn't take much more, but still I was falling mighty fast.
Couldn't last out, got things on my mind, making happiness so hard to find. My wife and my kids are fast asleep, but I'm falling, the devil is calling. Will I ever make up my mind, my mind, my mind? But I'm falling, the devil is calling. Will I ever make up my mind?
Well, that was Fallen, and Phil, what I've got to say here is, it's just, I mean, you've been told this so many times before, you, Peter and Paul, those iconic sibling harmonies.
Beautiful.
They're
absolutely.
outstanding. They really are beautiful. I can compare that, and I hope you find this as a positive statement.
Yeah.
Matthew's Southern Comfort.
Oh, yes.
Woodstock.
Yes, you're right.
It just sounds like that. It's got that
Very
uplifting
Woodstock
vibe.
sound, yeah.
I really appreciate that, Alan. Me, Pete and Paul sang from a very, very early age. We did my first concert in my mum and dad's front garden
Wow.
in Holy Cross, 1959. Paul was 5, I was 7, Pete was 10.
I was 1.
And exactly. And we had guitars, and kids would come and watch these 3 kids. And, so if you do the maths, this is my 8th decade. I'm into, for all I'm only 71, I'm still 8th decade of making music. And
still going strong, because I was at the Greenhouse watching your gig the other night, and you were sensational.
Thank you very much for that. It's something we've always done, and it's interesting because the listeners can't see this, but I've got a letter here. This is dated December the 17th, 1964. We did a concert. It's coming up to 60 years, and this year it'll be 60 years old. And me, Pete and Paul did a concert for the whole school. Paul was 10, I was 12, Pete was 14, 15. And there's a picture of you can see it, in the headmaster, the headmasters in them days, not head teachers. He sent a box of chocolates to me mum and dad saying how good we were. I've ate the chocolates obviously, but I've still got the letter.
Just as well, it'd be a bit mouldy.
It would be a bit mouldy. And it would have been really good to see there wasn't an adult in the room who taught us how to do this.
Yeah,
we worked the harmonies out. And it was fun to be with me 2 brothers.
Well, a sibling blend is something which is talked to, like the Bee Gees had that as well.
Yeah.
Well, they're the Bee Gees, we're the PCs.
Ah, lovely, yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. It is that kind of, it is a special bond.
Phil, I'd like to steer you back to the band Arbor, because they were special times, like early 70s, mid 70s, to be recording. And am I correct, in 75 you got a record deal?
Yeah, in 75, those were the days where if you didn't have a record deal, you didn't make records. You and I could record a song today, and we could make a CD of it and go on Northumberland Street on Saturday and be selling them. You couldn't do that in them days. You had to get a recording deal. And we signed to DJM Records in 1975. And Fallen was the first song that we released as a single. The following year, 1976, there was an album with Fallen on it. And I always remember it. I'll go back to now. I'm busy recording my very, very first Phil Caffrey record, whatever you want to call it. And I've been listening to the tracks, and it's very easy to get too overexcited about things because it's still the honeymoon period with them. And I go back to 1975 where you started there. And I remember we recorded Fallen. We went into the friend's house where we were staying overnight. We went back in the studio the next day and listened to it, and we all just looked at each other and smiled and laughed and couldn't believe that we had made this sound.
It's a brilliant song.
And and I'm still, with my new stuff now, I feel like I did 40 years ago.
Well, we're going to keep you firmly in the 70s at this stage, Phil. And I recall I was just a very young teenager at the time, and Arbor were the talk of the area. Put on Radio Metro, they're playing your stuff. Radio Newcastle, Radio Tyneside. You were constantly on the radio. Is this something you've always geared towards, writing your songs with radio in mind?
Do you know what it is? To be honest with you, I just write, and even me writing now, it's kind of changed. I will pick the guitar up, I will put my phone on, I'll be able to put the capo on 2 or 3, and I'll just sing for 2 or 3 minutes because I can come up with something spontaneous without having to write it down. And just say I sing 4 lines, if one of them is a good one, that's a success.
Instinctive.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And because it's spontaneous, it kind of works. In the 70s, you didn't have mobile phones. So basically, me and Paul wrote Fallen. I lived in the 3... there was 3 blocks of houses on the Coast Road, the 3 Sisters they were called, in Wallsend, and I lived in the 10th floor, and someone died, so me and Paul wrote a song called Falling, about someone falling off it.
So that was the inspiration there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to stick with Arbor. We're going to play. Am I correct? You wrote a song. It was a 0 to 4 or 4 to 0, or
Roger Askew wrote a lot of that song.
right?
Because basically, in them days, I wouldn't do it now. Roger and I were the main writers, and Paul, but we accredited all the songs to Arbor.
Yeah,
We were a team.
yeah,
It wasn't like Phil Caffrey song. In some of the songs, there was a song called So Much Love. Roger wrote the verse and I wrote the chorus.
Yeah.
And by doing that, it took the song to a because the song was like
Yes.
a rhythm. Then this harmonies coming in, very poppy chorus.
yeah.
So he couldn't have wrote the poppy chorus and I couldn't have wrote the verse.
yeah.
That's similar to what you do, Alan, with the attention seekers, isn't it?
I've done that before, and it is interesting what Phil's saying
It
there,
is,
because you
yeah.
get a totally different thought process, and that keeps the whole thing fresh.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. But Roger wrote 0 to 4. And what's interesting of you, even on the Caff stuff, when Paul does lead vocals, because Paul does lead vocals on that one, the harmonies behind are more inventive because I'm not doing the lead vocal and
Yeah.
I come up with ad-lib harmonies,
Well-
which we then develop.
We should listen to that song. So
Yeah,
we'll
we'll have
listen. Is it 0 to 4?
0 to 4,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll come.
The crystal once told me I'd have my day, but a brief encounter took it all away. Fame and riches, been years the same. Since desolation, I've returned from whence I came. An empty pavement bar, deserted street. The sign saying enfant triste hangs above my seat. Complete immunity, I'm all alone. Should I have another glass or just go on home? And all my life went by, 0 to 4, 0 to 4 in the dawn. And all my life went by, 0 to 4, 0 to 4 in the dawn. To crave remission, I have no one. Create diversion, and I would play the part. The people that I knew have gone before. Respect that I once drew is mine no more. And all my life went by, 0 to 4, 0 to 4 in the dawn. And all my life went by, 0 to 4, 0 to 4 in the dawn. And all my life went by, 0 to 4, 0 to 4 in the dawn. And all my life went by, 0 to 4, 0 to 4 in the dawn.
Talking about harmonies, I've I've got like a harmony pedal as well, which is good just when you're
Yeah,
playing in the
yeah.
house, but it's also good for discovering harmonies.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
if you've got a new song and you're just
Yeah.
working through and you're clicking the harmony pedal, you think, I wouldn't have thought of putting one there, but it sounds great.
When we do the song Angel Gabriel in the Caffs, Peter does the lead line. I used to live next door to the... and I go, live next door to the Angel Gabriel, share the flag with it. So I'm doing a higher one. And Paul's is actually pedaling, live next door to the Angel
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
So he's not following the melody.
No, he's just
So
holding it
Pete
up
and
there.
Paul are either side of me, and I can move my melody around,
Well,
and
we
it
will-
gives it that...
We'll be playing that song soon, but before we do that, now, I know this will embarrass you, but we're all musicians. We know hundreds of brilliant guitar players,
Yeah.
great drummers, fantastic bass players and keyboard players. When it comes to singers, there's very few. They're a rare breed. And singers of your caliber, Phil, are very far and few between. Now, I'm pretty aware that this has led you into some interesting side projects.
Yeah,
Could you
yeah.
expand on that?
Yeah, I've done lots of different things for people, you know, which we will come on to. You know, I've sang in Eurovision, I've sang songs for other people, I've sang songs for people, and then getting people to record them, and then when the songs come back, even the artist who did it has copied the ad-libs were added at the end. And I got like 20 quid for doing it, but I got hired to do it. And then I thought, hang on a moment, this person is more famous than me. But I think, you know, I've always been creative, like from a melody point of view. I can pick the guitar up. I've done it for people before at school, and they've said, oh, play something for us, Mr. Caffrey. And I say, okay, but how do you not know this is one of my ideas now? So I'll look outside, I'll say it's raining, I'll pick the guitar up, it's Tuesday, so the lyrics will be, it's Tuesday and raining, so they know I'm not, this is something I'm making up on the spot.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make you prove that by doing this later on.
Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a guitar in the corner,
I'll do
and
that for you.
Looking forward to that. Yeah.
and you've got to write a new song
Yeah, we'll do it.
That's a good idea.
about Greenside.
I just want to repeat something we
Yeah.
were saying before there during the tune.
Uh-huh.
Now, you were saying about your voice, Phil, and you've got Paul,
Yeah.
how close the vocals are in quality and everything about them. I thought that was really good, because that's how they all gel.
The blend is
The blend and everything.
spectacular.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of
And
getting at.
it's funny, you know, because we never really practiced, to be honest with you. Yeah, we get together, but we just have this kind of...
It's naturally there, isn't it?
Yeah. We're really lucky, to be honest. It's something we were born with, and we've developed it and worked at it.
Well, we're talking about your brothers, so
Yeah.
we're going to fast forward to 1999,
Yeah.
and you are now the Caffreys.
Yeah.
So where did that name come from?
Well, obviously that is our name, isn't it? And it's quite ironic because...
You deserve that one, Owen.
You know yourself, picking a band name, you pick one and you like it at the time, then maybe a year later you think, why did we call ourselves that? We are the Caffrey Brothers, that's our name. And we thought we'll just go with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, why not?
It's just easy.
Well, we're going to break with tradition here, and we're going to play 3 Caffrey Brothers songs. And these songs I've picked here, I think they all sound like hit singles.
That's nice of you to say.
And so we've got Write Me a Postcard,
Yeah,
Lambretta Twins.
yeah.
I know you're sworn to secrecy there, aren't you? You're
Yeah,
not allowed
yeah,
to tell us
yeah.
who they are. And the Angel Gabriel. But before we get into them, I think there's a story attached to the Angel Gabriel. Is
Angel
that correct?
Gabriel, yeah. We were Saturday night, we were in the house watching Casualty, me and my wife. And Casualty goes from different scenes. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever seen it.
I used to watch it, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this one scene is, there's this old lady who is obviously confused, and this nurse is talking to her. Then it goes off to something else, and eventually it goes back to the old lady, and eventually the nurse takes the old lady on a bus and takes her home to where she thinks she lives. Terraced houses, some of them are knocked down, and there's a cemetery across. So the old lady's pointing to the cemetery, over there. So the nurse takes her across to it, and she points to a headstone. And there next to it is a thing of like an Angel Gabriel. And I just shouted to me, I used to live next door to the Angel Gabriel. And my wife said, what? I said, I've got to go and write a song. So I went upstairs, picked the guitar
Just
up.
like that.
So I went up and I picked the guitar up. I used to live next door to the Angel Gabriel. I thought, oh, well, that sounds okay. And then I went, bring somebody else famous in. Shared a flat with Elvis Presley. I thought, yeah, that works. Now I'll balance it out. I'll bring a female in. I wind and dine with Cleopatra. And I thought, wow, this is a bit crazy. And finally, my imagination runs away with me. Not how Angel Gabriel was born. And if I hadn't been watching Casualty, I would never have written it.
Well,
Oh, great,
I
sir.
think we should listen to that song.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Richie?
Oh, yes, we'll have that one.
I'm up on a hill, I can see all around, and I know I love you still. Even though you've been treating me bad, not believing what I'm telling you. I thought I was smart till you took my heart away. Now you won't even tell me you got nothing to say. I gotta do what I gotta do, 'cause time's running out for me. I'll change my name and buy some new clothes. I'll change my identity. I used to live next door to the angel Gabriel, shared a flat with Elvis Presley. I wind and dine with Cleopatra. My imagination runs away with me. I'm no Billy Liar. My heart is on fire and it's burning itself away. I talk to myself, and not only when I get on my knees and pray. I missed the last train coming your way. My ticket was out of date. Now I'm left wondering why. Is this what they call fate? I used to live next door to the angel Gabriel, shared a flat with Elvis Presley. I wind and dine with Cleopatra. My imagination runs away with me. I used to live next door to the angel Gabriel, shared a flat with Elvis Presley. I wind and dine with Cleopatra. My imagination runs away with me. In my own fantasy, I can be what I wanna be. I can win, I can lose. I can do it if I choose. The last train coming your way. My ticket was out of date. Now I'm left wondering why. Is this what they call fate? I used to live next door to the angel Gabriel, shared a flat with Elvis Presley. I wind and dine with Cleopatra. My imagination runs away with me. I used to
tell you what, that sound is just absolutely amazing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
It sends me back to the classic pop days,
Yeah.
where you had Manfred Mann, White Plains, Marmalade,
Yeah.
and with those rich melodies.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a sort of track I would play on Memory Lane Radio, to be honest.
Well, thank you.
During one of my shows, that's going to go on that one.
But we recorded that, and the acoustic guitar to a click track, and then added the drums. If we were a band with a drum on that, that could well have been a different tempo.
Yeah.
Because it is pedestrian sound, but it kind of works.
Oh, definitely.
And somebody said doing it that way is a bit like building a church and starting with the steeple. But anyway, that's what we did, and we got Neil Hall in it to do bass and Paul Smith to do drums and Jim Hornsby to play guitar, and that's the sound that we
I'm
created.
loving that one.
It's a lovely sound.
Yeah.
There's one of your songs, the Lambretta Twins,
Yeah.
and I was watching like an American concert the other night, and I thought if Keith Urban sang this, it would be a huge hit.
Well, that's
And
nice of you to say.
It's a lot of the stuff you were doing, say 10, 15 years ago, is very much in vogue now.
Yeah.
And I think we should give the Lambretta Twins a spin.
Oh, yes. I've got on my record player, Alan. Yes.
I'm hanging around with two girls who call themselves the Lambretta Twins. Yeah, alright, get at you from the inside. They like me when I don't shave, like me better when I misbehave. They choose, won't lose anything that they want to. I wanna get serious, but I can't find the words to say. When I wanna talk to them, all they wanna do is play. I can't forget the Lambretta Twins, I have to say they're under my skin. If you seen, you would know what I mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They like to give me a Saturday treat. No one sees the very discreet. No way, I can't say I'm sworn to secrecy. They took me out the other night. They said relax, it'll be alright. That chance, I can't dance, no matter what song they play. I wanna get serious, but I can't find the words to say. When I wanna talk to them, all they wanna do is play. I can't forget the Lambretta Twins, I have to say they're under my skin. If you seen, you would know what I mean. The other day they talked to me, they let me have my say. Then they said it was up to me, but I couldn't walk away. I can't forget the Lambretta Twins, I have to say they were under my skin. If you seen, you would know what I mean. I'm hanging around with two girls who call themselves the Lambretta Twins. They like me when I don't shave, like me better when I misbehave.
That's a classic, though. That is a brilliant song, and We were talking earlier about musicians you've played with, and that was Tony Davis.
Tony Davis on piano, Trevor
Lovely
Bruce on
piano
drums,
track, yeah.
Trevor's on drums,
They are
Jeff
great
Lincoln on
musicians.
bass,
Yeah.
Jim Hornsby on guitar. And it's funny, again, I was sitting in the house with my wife and my daughter, and I was kind of annoying them as I do. And they said, oh, go on, you go in another room. And I said, I'm living in a house with two girls who think that they're the Lambretta twins. And I thought, wow, where'd that come from? So I thought, I'd better go upstairs and write the song. And again, if they hadn't said that, I wouldn't have wrote the song.
Unreal. Yeah.
Which is, it might sound strange to people, but that's...
I think it's interesting where songs come from, because you're creating something out of nothing. It's like, it's a great art.
Well, it isn't. There's another song on one of the Caffs albums called Big Blue Pillow, a song my wife, it's not one of our favourites. And I had a verse for a song, and I was in my room next to our bedroom, and I went through to play it to her. So I played her the verse, and as I looked, my wife Jean was lying on a big blue pillow, but she's muted the television. So I went straight from this chorus, this verse, into... Because she's lying on a big blue pillow. She's got blue eyes to match her big blue eyes. I thought, I better go and write this chorus now. If she'd been downstairs on the settee, not on the big blue pillow, then I would never have wrote the chorus.
Crazy that, isn't it?
Well, Phil,
Yeah.
you're also a TV star, am I correct?
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been on a few times,
Yeah.
fortunately.
And the band were picked up by a BBC series.
Yep.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
UK's Best
yeah.
Part-Time Band, it was called. Somebody sent me an email saying that we are doing this programme called UK's Best Part-Time Band. And I think they were kind of trying to give an alternative to Pop Idol, X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, all those things, where it was for bands who basically were out gigging. Anyway, we got in touch with them, and from that, they came up to my house, Rod Gilbert and Peter Hook, the bass player out of New Order, and listened to us play 2 songs. We found out that we had to do a cover as well as an original. We nearly pulled out of it because we don't do covers. But the woman says, please give it a go. So when it come to doing the cover, the band said, Phil, that's down to you, you're the lead singer. So I thought, wow. So the first cover we did was, we were really lucky. We got through to after the Rod Gilbert and Peter Hook came in the back kitchen, we got through to the semi-final. And I'd picked a cover version of Don't You Want Me by Human League.
Oh, yeah.
And we did it in a kind of very different way. It's a good song, and we were really lucky though, because the semi-final was in Sheffield, and I've got one of the strangest feelings I've ever had on stage, because we went on there and it was doing a cover, and we got introduced and we started that song, and 1,000 people started to sing the words. Yeah. And when we do my gigs, and our gigs with the Caffs, I write all the songs, so if I forget a lyric, I can just make it up. I thought, Phil, you better be careful, yes, because they know all the words. And we did it, and we got through. From there, we got through to the final.
Right.
I got talking to Peter Hook's manager, and he told me when we got through to the final, which was Manchester, he said to me that Peter had made up his mind the 2 bands he was going to put through from Sheffield, and we weren't one of them. However, when we did our performance of Don't You Want Me at Sheffield, he just looked at Rod Gilbert, and Rod Gilbert says, you've got a decision to make here. So he kind of changed his mind and put us through.
Oh.
So when we got to the final, so the judges really liked that. When we got to the final in Manchester, the judges really didn't like our choice of song, a cover, because we'd done a version of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. And it was interesting because all the other bands did think that we would win it. And we ended it for a bit of fun. There was no... You got a little trophy, but we played to 1,000 people in 2 different gigs and reached different people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gets you out there.
And all the other bands said that we were the only band who went out of our genre. They expected us to do an Eagles song.
Right.
And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to, and I was quite happy doing the Michael Jackson song.
Yeah. So
the judges kind of panned me, didn't like it. They loved our original song, but they really didn't like the cover.
A song which I really like, and you played it live the other night, is History Man.
Yeah, History Man.
Can you tell me a little bit about that, then we'll play it?
Yeah. History Man, if you listen to the last Caffs album, which was 2011, if you just listen to that one song and took it out of context, you would think we were a bit of a rock band.
Right.
A bit like, not Free, but Bad Company.
It has got a Bad Company vibe.
That kind of vibe. It's a song where, again, for anybody who wants to write songs, don't try and broaden your horizon a bit.
Yeah.
Don't write about something which you're going to struggle with. I wrote the song called The History Man, and basically it takes me anywhere I want to go. Now, when you've got that as your palette, you can write anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're not restricting yourself. People often say, what were you on when you wrote it? Basically, I was just writing songs. And it is a rock song. And when we recorded it, it's pushy vocally. And I said to the guys, I do not want to sing to a backing track with the headphones on, like I do with most of them.
Yeah.
So we set it up, and obviously Big Al done the ad-lib guitars later on.
Yeah.
And we done the harmonies later. But the drums, the bass, and the power chords and the acoustic guitar and my voice are live. And the take on the album is the second take we did.
Well, we should listen to that.
Oh, absolutely. History Man.
History Man. Yeah.
I was talking to you the day to the history man. He said, tell me, where do you wanna go? I was out the other day with the history man. He said, take your time and go real slow. I said, go on, tell me. Time travels a dangerous thing. I said, go on, tell me everything you want me to bring. So I'll take you there. I was driving down the street with a history man. The sign said 1934. Said if you stick around for the next 5 years, you better get yourself ready for war. I said I ain't no fighter. No gun is gonna enter my hand. What you trying to do to me is something I don't understand. I will take you there, 'cause I'm the history man. Nothing's gonna stop me, 'cause I'm the history man. The day with the history man, the sun, it was shining so bright. I turned around and asked him a question. We were hit by a thunderbolt of light. I said, I'll go to your sermon. I'll tell him you were a good man. What you trying to do to me? There's something I don't understand. I will take you there, 'cause I'm the history man. Nothing's gonna stop me, 'cause I'm the history man. Do, 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 do.
Well, what an astonishing track that is. You know when we said there was a feel for the Bad Company? Oh,
Yeah.
I tell you what, you're better than them. Definitely. That right,
Excellent.
Al?
Well, I would agree.
Oh, blimey.
Well, Paul Rodgers is my hero, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. He is as good as... I seen him about 5-6 years ago at the City Hall, and he was just...
Yeah.
That style, I don't think there's anybody better than him, personally.
He's got a beautiful voice, yeah.
I think Freddie Mercury was as good as it got what he did.
Yeah.
I think George Michael, as a pop singer, was as good as it got. I wasn't really into Wham and George Michael,
Yeah.
but he could write songs and he could sing.
Yeah.
And
I
as
was
you
just-
said earlier, great singers are a very rare breed.
They are. Yeah.
I was just thinking there, I've been... I said, you're actually better than Bad Company. I'm going to have all these... When this goes out, they're going to be throwing
Controversy.
apples and everything at me. All the Bad Company
Yeah.
fans, yeah.
Phil, we've heard your rock side there, but you've also got a very gentle side as well. You write a lot of romantic and songs of that genre. So can you tell me a little bit about perhaps a song that would reflect that part of your personality?
Well, I think Can I Tell You for me, is one of the best Caff songs that we've done. Paul came with the idea about the artist having a canvas, and he left it with me, and when he came back the following week, I'd written the rest of the song. And why I really like it is because it starts with Paul singing a verse, then I sing a verse, and Pete actually did some lead vocals, and Pete didn't do many lead vocals, and the harmonies coming in. And I think Can I Tell You, it is a gentle song, and we on a Julia Hankins show, we sang that song live, and Julia said that I was the Wall's End Shakespeare, which was nice.
Isn't that
'cause
lovely?
she was-
Yeah.
And she said it's poetic because the artist has no canvas, he just paints from memory. If your heart is tainted, what colour will it be? We are like two shooting stars falling from the sky. Can I tell you that I love you, and you know the reason why?
Wow.
Wow.
And she said that is poetry. I take that.
It's right
with
from the heart. Phil.
Well, and I just think it's one of my favourite, and it is gentle. And because if you listen to me, Pete and Paul can sing 3-part harmony comfortably, and we had to try and think about things because you don't want to be predictable. So we would sing the first part of this chorus, and we sing it in unison. Can I tell you that I love you, and you know the reason why? Then we go to 2-part, then we go to 3-part, so it's less predictable. Yeah. And that's what we did.
We've got to listen to that song now.
Oh, absolutely. What's it called?
Can I tell you?
Okay.
Keep that in.
No, I'm not.
What's it called? Will you listen, Richie? No, I tuned out.
I was that, you know what it is? I was that interested in what you were saying. I forgot that. So, here we go. Can I tell ya?
One life, one voice, 1 second to make a choice. You are like a shining light, always so full of grace. And your journey's coming to an end, maybe only your heartbeat away. Gotta tell you, I just gotta say, be strong, be right, like a bird that takes off in flight. Remember where you're going to and where you just come from. I will shadow you if you want me to. You go. I gotta tell you, I gotta let you know, 'cause the artist has no canvas, he just paints from memory. done. So don't think twice, just take a chance, 'cause we're all just passing through. I gotta tell you, it's from me to you. 'Cause the artist has no canvas, he just paints from memory. And if your heart is tainted, what color will it be? We are like two shooting stars falling from the sky. I gotta tell you that I love you, and you know the reason why. I gotta tell you that I love you, it's something I can't deny. I gotta tell you that I love you, and you know the reason why. I gotta tell you that I love you, it's something I can't deny.
We're just talking about singing in unison there.
Yeah.
And I think the only people that can get away with that is siblings like yourself, because you've got the same voice just about, and they do actually tie in, don't they?
They do.
Doing the unison.
Yeah.
It's a feel
Yeah.
for each other. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's in my view. Like,
No,
could be wrong.
I would agree with Richie,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Phil, we were talking earlier about how your career has spanned many decades.
Yeah.
But there was a point where you just seemed to go off the map. That might have only been my perception.
No, you're right.
Perhaps round about 1990.
The 90s, yes. People said to me, have you lost your confidence? I've always been confident musically. I think I lost my confidence with the music business, to be honest with you. There just wasn't an outlet. I kept writing. I write me a postcard in the early 90s, just kept it. And we were at a wedding, and we done a few songs, and people were coming up and saying, why don't you do an album? This was about 1997, 98. And I said, we might, you know. And I think for me, the person I have to please the most is me, because if I please me, hopefully I'll please anybody listening or anybody watching at a gig. Yeah. And you've got to be up for it. So in 1999, we went into Clooney studio and started recording the Caff's album. So that's really why we took our foot off the pedal, so to speak. Right, but it was interesting because we approached one or two pubs and they said, what you call? We said the Caffrey brothers. And Arborough finished in the likes of the late 70s, you know. And people say, no, I've never heard of you. So you had to kind of reinvent yourself.
Yeah, right.
So start all over again.
So when we were confident we could do that, and we done that, and we launched the Caff's first album at the Live Theatre in March 2000, and sold it out with family and friends, and the rest went from there.
Yeah.
Do you think the break from the music industry sort of re-energised you?
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, you know, we've gone periods of 10. People say, even when they listen to me now, they said if we didn't look at you, even some of the students I teach, they say you don't sound like you're 71 years old.
Oh, you definitely don't.
I've never smoked. I've kind of tried to look after my voice. So I think if you look at the usage of it and the wear and tear on it, I've gone 10 years without singing live. Mm. And it wasn't because I chose to do that. That's just the way that it happened.
Yeah.
And I was getting on with family life and bringing my family up and working.
Well, I was going to come to that because obviously we know you as a musician and a songwriter, but there's also, you're a teacher as well, or a music teacher. And could you talk about that? Because I've talked to people who've been taught by you, and you're very given with your time, and you inspire people, and that's a gift. That's a natural thing.
That's really nice of you to say. You know the word inspire, INSPIRE. It's a very short word, but I think if you looked at it, it's miles long. And people have said, I inspire that son or that daughter. I don't totally believe that, because I think if I believe that, it's a bit like believing people if they tell you how good you are. You know, I think you've got to keep trying to strive at things and work at things. I went in, a teacher came to see our band, and she said, will you come and play at Heaton Manor School? And I said, yes, we will. It never happened. So I was backstage working in Phoenix at the time, and I wasn't happy doing that. And I said to my wife, I've got a week's holiday, I'm going to phone her up and I'm going to say I'll come in. So I phoned her up and I went into Heaton Manor School, spent the day there, took my guitar in, and at the end of the day, the 3 teachers got me in the office and they said, you're a natural teacher. You know, you were comfortable with the kids. I took some of the CDs in and I spoke to them. We played the track, and then I played an acoustic version of how I wrote it, and they seemed to kind of like it. And from there, one of the teachers a year later says, do you not fancy doing some private tuition? And I said, I'll think about it. And again, it wasn't I thought, who would want to be taught by me? So and she said, well, my 2 kids straight away. So I started with 4 students. And at one point at Heaton Manor, and I'm talking about 6-7 years ago, I was in my mid-60s, I was teaching 90 kids a week.
Blimey.
And I was really lucky. I had some great young people. And even now, I just love sharing my musical experiences with them. And people would be surprised, because they think a lot of young people love music of today. That couldn't be further from the truth. Some of the songs, they love learning David Bowie songs, they love the Beatles, they love the Rolling Stones, they like lots of different songs.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of your students have worked with the Attention Seekers, Nadeem, Shakir and Ramona.
Yeah.
And they are so old school in their way of thinking.
There you are. Do you know, it's true. You know, we tend to think, I think a lot of young people know that today's music is formularised more than it was when we were younger. That's the way it is. It's nobody's fault. It's technology has made it easy to put things, I think, to put things on repeat.
Yeah.
And then if you take it the stage further, if you look at the AI, you can go into AI and say, can you write me a song a bit Taylor Swift-ish about the seasons, and it'll come up with some lyrics for you in about a minute.
It's not quite the right way to
no, it's not. But that's what it can. But this is the world we're living in.
Yeah,
it is. I envisage a time where, do you know, when you go into a record shop and it'll have like prog rock, blues, jazz, it'll have AI.
Possibly.
And there'll be people who say, I only ever listen to AI.
It's like the invention of a tea bag. Instead of faffing on with all them tea leaves and doing all the gizmos and everything, just stick a tea bag in, man. You've got instant tea. It's like that, isn't it?
It is.
It's like Insta songs.
Well, you know, K-pop, students have said to me, they like K-pop. And they said, would you have liked K-pop in your time? I says, no. I said, because the music we listened to was new when I was your age. And there was so much great music. I think maybe, and I'm not being discredited to K-pop in any shape or form, I just think there's that many varieties now of music and styles, and nothing's new, really. Nothing's new. It just gets reinvented in a way.
I would say there's still some fantastic new music coming through.
Oh, there is, some great.
I'm looking forward to seeing Taylor Swift soon, and I think she never puts her foot wrong. Taylor
Swift has done more for young girls and boys who sitting in their bedrooms or their music rooms writing songs on an acoustic guitar using 3 or 4 chords. She's made it accessible.
Yeah. So it's
that's what she's done.
It's turned the page back.
She's been very inspirational.
Yeah. No,
I wouldn't disagree with you.
Well, at this point, I think we'll listen to. I think we'll play a couple of more of Phil's songs with his brothers, the Caffrey songs.
Absolutely.
And then perhaps we'll talk about what you're doing now, Phil.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Which one do you fancy listening to, Well?
Phil can choose this time.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. You choose.
Let us go for Learn How to Dance.
Right.
That song, Learn How to Dance, again, very quickly. Me and my wife were watching a TV programme downstairs, and I went upstairs, picked the guitar up, put the cap on 4, don't know why, I just did, and I started to play this song, and I played and sang for 2 minutes, listened to it back, and I thought, hey, I quite like this. Shouted JC up, Jane, come and have a listen to this. She came upstairs, she says, Phil, that's really good. Believe it or not, out of about 16 lines, I muttered 2 words, and I only changed them 2 words. Some of it doesn't make sense. And the song is called Learn How to Dance, which I'm going to play now. As it is, it's in a waltz timing. I wasn't aware of that at the time that I wrote it. I just played it.
I think 3/4 is great for narrative.
Well, I just did it, and then I didn't realise. I thought, oh, it's a waltz, the timing, and I'm rubbish at dancing. So maybe there was something in that. So that's learn how to dance.
Absolutely. We'll hear that one now.
Capture a fool on his own, and you might find I'm there. Capture a heart in the ocean, and you might despair. Take me to Italy, take me to Spain, take me on the outside, but don't let it rain. Tell me the future and take me to France. I promise you one day I will learn how to dance. I'll learn how to dance. Never a truth has been said that's only too sad. Never a word's crossed my lips I've not wanted to say. Make me a wish and it will come true. I'll be the person who's looking at you. Tell me the truth and I'll make a stance, and one day I will learn how to dance. I'll learn how to dance. Figurinas, ballerinas are all skating on ice. But there's one thing I gotta tell ya. Maybe it's not too nice. Do the tango, do the waltz, do a pirouette on your own. 'Cause I will be there, I will be holding you. You'll never be alone if you ask me to dance. Ask me to dance. I can feel the rhythm, I can feel the beat. I've often been told I've got 2 left feet. I need to relax and open my mind, and one day I'll find that I've learned how to dance. 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 I know how to dance. I know how to dance. I know how to dance.
Right, Phil, we've been listening to some fantastic music there, and, you know, from my viewpoint, you've achieved so much. Is there still more to achieve in the life of Phil Caffrey?
Yeah, there is. It's really interesting. I get really frustrated more than anything. People of my age maybe should be out on the field grazing a little bit and taking it easy. I still really think I would like to have a go at it. And maybe I shouldn't feel. I don't think I'm regressing. I still think, and it's only my opinion, it's for people out there to judge, I still think I'm progressing. I still think I've got a lot to offer.
I don't think you ever stop progressing, because it's like you were saying earlier on. you keep on singing, and your voice is like a muscle, like everything else, and it does. It's got to get better. Better, but I don't know how you can get much better, to be honest.
Well, I haven't. I don't think I've stagnated. Some of the songs I'm writing now, some of the students I teach, you play with one of your new songs, Mr. Caffrey, and I play them and they go, wow, and they'll say things like, why don't you go on Britain's Got Talent? I say, I would rather teach you than do that. They said, yeah, but you could go on and, you're a great-grandfather, you're a grandfather, you're a father. And people who they see this old guy walking on stage. This is what they see. This is my opinion. And I love things like this because kids are great. They see it in a very different way. And they said, and they probably have a preconceived idea of you walking on stage. But as soon as you started, they would change their idea. Yeah. That's what they say.
Yeah.
And to be honest, in answer to your question, I think, people have said, why did it not happen? I think luck plays a part in lots of things. You can also say desire and ambition does, and maybe were we ambitious enough? Maybe not. We'll give it our best shot. I think Arbra were a great support band and could have developed into a headline band, but we never got the chance to. That's life. The Caffrey brothers, I think we were of a time and we could sell 2 nights out at the Live comfortably, and lots of people love coming to see us. Again, it's such a difficult business that what's meant to be is meant to be, and I'm not a bitter person in life. I get asked even now by you guys to come and do this. Lots of other people don't, so I'm quite fortunate. And also maybe I wouldn't if I hadn't made it, I might not still be with my wife now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know? You would, and I might not have had
children, you've had a happy
grandchildren,
life.
and great grandson I've got. Yeah. So I'm kind of happy with what I've got, but I still have desire and ambition.
As a songwriter, do you find that you've got to be a lot more the challenge of writing age-appropriate songs? Songs you can write when you're 20, you can't really write when you're 40, 50, 60.
That's a good point.
Life experience, isn't it? That's involved.
Well, Ray Davies wrote, you really got me at 16, 17, didn't he? Or 18. George Michael wrote Careless Whisper, 18 or whatever. And I think it's quite interesting. I think maybe the more comfortable you become with riches and fame, I'll never know because it's not happened to me. Do you get the slippers on and
Well, I was being more specific. Like Paul McCartney at the age of 19, 20 with John Lennon could write, I want to hold your hand. But you couldn't write that when he's 60s. No. He's got to write from a different angle. Yeah. And that was my question to you. Do you think, right, I've got to alter my perspective in order to remain relevant as a songwriter?
No, I think that's true. I think you've got to try and think about today. Things have changed, times have changed, lyrics have changed. Yeah. So you've got to think about it very differently.
Well, I think at this stage, Phil, we'll come to the end of the chapter on the Caffreys.
Yeah.
If you can pick 2 songs, we'll play those, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about your career now. Yeah. And if you wouldn't mind singing a couple of songs live.
I'd love to, thank you.
I'm looking forward to that.
I would love to.
Yeah.
What songs are you going to pick for us?
I would say Cherry Picking and Outside Looking In. They were from the last Caff's album. And the thing is, I've thought about this, the last Caff's album was 2011. My thing I'm going to release is going to be 2024, 2025. I've released nothing in my 60s. Because I was in my late 50s in 2011. And I'll be in my 70s when I release my next one.
Oh, I tell you what, that's what I like about this show. It's giving people what they didn't get a chance to hear, because we're bringing it into the now.
Yeah.
And these were all done quite a long time ago. So that's what I like about this show. It's bringing it all into the forefront.
One question I get asked when I was telling people you were coming on the show is there any plans to release the Arbra stuff on the digital platforms?
We're made to be honest with you. Listening to, do you ever listen to any of your old songs?
I do. I revisit them and see whether the 18, 19-year-old who actually wrote that song.
That's something I should do.
I like getting back in touch with that person.
Maybe I should reconnect with it.
Yeah.
Because at the minute I've got 28 new songs which are finished and could get recorded now. Nobody's heard 23 of them.
Right.
So maybe that gets in the way of revisiting things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there's an idea.
That is an idea, isn't it?
It's a very good idea. Thank you, Alan.
Yeah, I should be your manager.
Yeah, you definitely should.
You've got both of us thinking now. Well, let's hear them two songs, starting with Cherry Picking.
Judgment Day, when Gabriel looked you in the eye. You took my heart, you took my soul, you branded me out of control, picking cherries from the tree, always shouting, me, me, me. You stole my heart, you stole my soul, you let them go for silver and gold. How much money did you make? How much pleasure did you take? Doesn't any
nobody know. I'm out there looking forward, I can't let go, 'cause my mind has blown a fuse. There is nothing that I just can't refuse. Time to take the news today. Time to kick the blues, 'cause you can cry if you wanna, laugh if you're gonna. Kick off your shoes today, blow all your tears away. You can smile if you wanna, run a mile if you're gonna. Sometimes you have to take it on the chin when you're on the outside looking in. Bought a ticket from a second-hand store. You weren't there to remind me what I was looking for. And my mind has blown a fuse. You won't tell me because all you do is refuse. Time to take the news today. Time to kick the blues, 'cause you can cry if you wanna, laugh if you're gonna. Kick off your shoes today, blow all your tears away. You can smile if you wanna, run a mile if you're gonna. Sometimes you have to take it on the chin when you're on the outside looking in. On the outside looking in.
Another two fantastic Caffrey songs, Phil.
Thank you
but
very
this
much,
isn't
Alan.
the end for you, is this? You've got a solo career in its early stages.
Yeah. I've always been in bands, Aubrey, the Caffs, and this is going to be the first Phil Caffrey one with just me. And it's quite exciting, to be honest with you. I've always been a team player, and I still am. I like being solo, I like being part of a team. But this is going to be my very, very first one.
So you're going to play. You
at the age of 72.
Oh well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this, and it, you know, you talk.
You haven't rushed into it.
No, I haven't. It's funny because I keep saying to people, I've got quite a lot of songs, and they say you better do a triple album. You know, you're not getting any younger, and it's true, really. As I said, I've always made music, and it's just something that I just gravitate.
It's part of your life, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. I can't. My son says, "Dad, you live in a musical bubble." And he's right. We're in this bubble. The bubble keeps changing sizes.
Yeah.
If I'm in a class with 30 students, they're all in the bubble. If I'm on my own, the bubble grows, and that's that. And I can't imagine life without music.
No.
I mean,
well, that's evidence. That's evident, Phil.
Oh,
Phil,
absolutely.
You're going to play us two of your new songs.
Yeah.
And then you're going to make a song up for us, aren't you?
Yeah.
All about me and Richie.
Yeah,
Oh.
all about used to.
and
Yeah.
the experience today.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent.
So
Yeah.
if you can introduce your songs, and then we will we'll push the record button.
The first song I'm going to do is a song called Measure. We lost our eldest sister 10 years ago, and JC, my wife, and I came home, and Jean was upset, and I was upset, and I said, you know, you can't measure someone's grief by how many tears they cry. There can be two people at a funeral, one can be crying their eyes out and one can be just standing staring, and you can think the one really sobbing is feeling the biggest loss. That's not always the case. We handle ourselves in very different ways. And I said, you can't measure someone's grief by how many tears they cry. 20 minutes later, I went upstairs. I thought I quite liked that line. And I wrote, in 20 minutes, I wrote the first half of the song. I revisited it 3 days later and finished it in 20 minutes. It doesn't always happen like that. So I'm going to sing that song, Measure.
They were meant to be, weren't they?
Yeah.
How do you measure love without a word being said? How do you measure heartache without being misled? How do you measure feeling if you don't see the signs? How do you measure when all you see are blurred lines? 'Cause you cannot measure someone's grief by how many tears they cry. You cannot measure honesty if you never told a lie. You cannot trade in kisses without feeling in your heart. You cannot, so don't even start. How do you measure empathy when it comes from within? How do you show forgiveness if you've never sinned? How do you measure friendship if you won't even share? How do you measure fear if you've never been scared? 'Cause you cannot measure someone's grief by how many tears they cry. You cannot measure honesty if you've never told a lie. You cannot trade in kisses without feeling in your heart. You cannot, so don't even start. Don't even start. Yeah, yeah. How do you measure someone's hurt if you don't have a tortured soul? How do you measure being in charge when you're losing control? How do you measure trust if you don't believe a word that I said? How can you measure pain if it's all in your head? 'Cause you cannot measure someone's grief by how many tears they cry. You cannot measure honesty if you never told a lie. You cannot trade in kisses without feeling in your heart. You cannot. You cannot. So don't even start. Don't even start. Ooh.
Powerful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
That was fantastic, Phil. And you're going to play another new song now. So if you can tell me a little bit about the second song you're going to play.
The second song is a song called You Better Not Say. And it's one which I wrote, like I said earlier, about just putting my phone on. And some of the lyrics kind of don't make sense a little bit, but I'm not really that bothered, to be honest with you. It's kind of quite, you'll hear it when it comes in, it's quite childlike, and you'll be chopping up sticks, playing new tricks. It's rhythmical in its kind of approach. And I'm going to be doing that one. It's called You Better Not Say.
Excellent.
So it's very different from Measure.
Okay.
Life's never pure, never sure to give you what you deserve. Hold your nerve. You might receive what's rightfully yours. There's a pause in the silence and the violence to live in a dream, or a scream to awaken me. Don't start saying you'll be praying you're mistaken, 'cause my heart's breaking. You better not say you'd been on my mind. You better not say you'd been out of time. We'll be chopping up sticks, playing new tricks, doing this and doing that. You better not say you'd been on your mind. You better not say. Take what you make, don't break the heart of the one you love. Look above, through the clouds, falling down to the ground. Not a sound or a word, and they're blurred and you can't make them out. Wanna shout to awaken me. If you choose me, you won't lose me. Please don't bruise me or refuse me. You better not say you've been on my mind. You better not say you've been out of time. We were chopping up sticks, playing new tricks, doing this and doing that. You better not say you've been on my mind. Woo! Don't start saying you'll be praying you're mistaken, 'cause my heart's breaking. You better not say you'd been on my mind. You better not say you'd been out of time. We were chopping up sticks, playing new tricks, doing this and doing that. You better not say you'd been on my mind. Woo! Yeah! See.
Outstanding.
Rocker.
Absolutely outstanding.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Phil, on the evidence of that performance, I think you've got many more miles in the tank, and we're looking forward to your solo career.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been great having you.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Now, in your own time, Phil, you can make up a little song about your experience on Memory Lane Radio,
I will do.
and we might be able to slot it in.
Yeah. Where shall I put the capo?
I think it should be on a second fret.
Second fret, right?
Yeah.
I can see this building's got some soul. I can see the people out there looking in. You two are looking at me as if I'm old, but I'm still here again. There's nothing to hide outside. I'm here at sunny Greenside, just the three of us. together, making music together. Is that enough for you? I gotta know.
I think that's perfect. Well done.
Thank you.